I'm far away on my bed today.
We are live.
Hey, everybody who's here. And hello to those who aren't. We're so sorry you're missing this.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Happy Monday, everyone. Having
What
some
is it?
technology issues here. We apologize.
11:11.
Oh, isn't it crazy?
I went to go to the bank today, and guess what?
No banking
No
today. No
banking
banking
today.
today.
I'm going to Florida with no cash.
Oh, I forgot you're going to Florida. Hello. Hello to everybody who's joining us. Please drop a comment. Let us know you're here. Welcome. Happy Monday.
Hello.
And let us know you are here. You know what I'm going to do? Hey, Lisa, how are you? Hi, Kim. How are you? I'm going to go ahead and just put up a banner, Mary Grace, so that they
Sure.
know to drop
I'm
a
sitting
comment.
here in the Zen position because I'm so Zen because I work for Park Lane.
You're so zen.
I'm so Zen.
Okay, I'm going to look the right way here because I'm just not used to looking this way to talk to you, but I'm going to look this way.
You do what you need to do. We'll
You
figure it out.
you do you, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Good evening. Good evening. I am so excited that we are hopping in here with all of you. Tonight is our night where we get to talk about the Park Lane opportunity. And I have the pleasure of interviewing one of our big wigs here at Park Lane, our executive company vice
Executive company
president.
vice president. Yeah.
Yep, yep. I like big wig better. But anyway, my husband's cousin ran some very big companies here in our area, and I'll never forget when we introduced Anthony to him. We called him the Big Cheese, and that was his nickname the whole time. He was the Big Cheese. So you're our Big Cheese. So here's what we get to do tonight. I'm going to go ahead and ask Mary Grace 4 questions that people ask when they are considering the Park Lane opportunity. They're 4 very common questions, and she answers them very eloquently. We can go ahead. Hey, Kay, how are you? Hi, Margie, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. Lisa, hello. She answers them really well, and I think this is just a time for that we're just going to ask you to, sit back, relax, and listen. And this might be something that is really perfect for you in your life right now, or this could be something that is perfect for somebody that you know.
Yes.
So we just want you to listen with an open heart, and we'll just banter back and forth, Mary Grace, like we always do. So let's go ahead and begin by asking. Our first question is always a very strong one, in my opinion, because this kind of sets the stage for what we do. So the question is, why direct sales? But it also, how is it different from MLM?
Yeah, it's not even just why direct sales, but what is direct sales?
Yeah.
Even the term sometimes makes people think, oh no, is that one of those pyramid schemes or whatever? And it's like, no, absolutely not. Direct sales is just what it says. It's direct sales. It's direct sales to the consumer. So there we serve as a liaison between the company and the customer, and we're able to give them like really great personal service, share with fashion tips with them, show them the stuff up and close and personal and on them if we want to, or online, be able to make sure that they get the very best deal when they're closing out and all that good stuff. So multi-level marketing, MLMs, is they very often the businesses are confused, but really they're not that much alike. And then multi-level marketing is more about recruiting and about signing people up as customers, really, if you will. So they will, like they have these constant credit card charges every month or sales every month. Whereas ours is just more like, we're personal salespeople. I often say that what direct sellers do is something that only the very rich used to do, where the salesperson comes to them. That used to be something that only the very high class, richest people could do. But now we provide that for people. And I haven't shared this particular story in a while, but I do always like to talk about David Bach because he was a New York Times bestseller, best-selling writer of The Automatic Millionaire. Just took off. He's been on lots of talk shows, lots of different things. And it was just so interesting to me that one time I heard him being interviewed, and he said that when he was first so excited about the idea that people could take a relatively small amount of money, $300 to $500 a month, and invest it and become millionaires in a relatively short time, like 10, 15 years, might seem far away when you're 20. but it goes really fast, doesn't it, Janine? Yeah.
Sure
And
does.
he said, yes, he said as he was starting to pose this plan to people, that he realized what a huge problem we have in the United States of America. I would venture to guess it's worldwide, where most people are living paycheck to paycheck. And he said, you know what? Take that back. Not even paycheck to paycheck, beyond paycheck to paycheck. Like there was always an ongoing debt or credit card or something that people were just hoping to someday pay down or
Yeah.
pay off. And he said when he would suggest to them that they invest $300 to $500 a month, they would just laugh at him like, we don't have that. So he made it a bigger part of his mission to like be able to help these people find a way to do it. And I always remember the way he said it. He goes, and that's when I discovered direct
Direct
sales. He just
sales.
hadn't really been familiar with it before. And he said, it's exactly what you need because you get to pick your hours. You get to decide how much you want to work. You get to decide when you want to work. You
Mhm.
decide how much money you need to make. You decide when it's a good time, when it's a bad time. You don't have, you're not upsetting the whole entire rest of your life because you're working it around your life. And that is exactly how you and I have felt about direct sales this whole time. We started for a little extra cash
Right.
and then we stayed, and now it's like our livelihood and also living many people living beyond what they ever thought would be possible.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think to sum it up is when David Bach spoke, he spoke about people who literally had more month left than they had money.
mm-hmm.
And direct sales gave them the opportunity to have that financial freedom. And I think
Yep.
that's the most important part. Hey, I just want to give a shout out. Sherry's here, Renee, Brenda. Thank you so much for
Hi
joining us, guys.
guys.
Really,
Yeah.
really appreciate that tonight. Really do. So, okay, so now that we know what direct sales is and how we can be personal shoppers or personal assistants, and only the elite have those opportunities, which is so awesome. Why jewelry? Where does jewelry fit into that?
Yeah, so if you're the type of person that really wants to dot all your I's and cross all your T's, which I was not when I fell into direct sales because I went to a party and I thought that looks fun.
Yep.
I could do this. And then I was just so devoted and loyal to that company. I know you had a similar situation, Janine. Absolutely loved it. But if I had gone out and done my due diligence from day one and chosen a really great product to sell, I would have settled on jewelry
Mhm.
for so many reasons. And that was what the Levine family, who started our company in 1955 and still own our company, that it's a family run business. They're on their third generation now. But they knew they wanted to use the direct sales model, but they weren't quite sure what product. And
Mhm.
they were so smart because they hired people that could go out and do research and come back with the answers. And these people came back and had jewelry by far number one. The Levines were a little taken aback because they were like, oh, they were thinking home product of some sort.
Sure.
And but they go, okay, defend your answers. And like these things still hold true today, just like they did in 1955 and beyond. So first of all, let's talk about 1955 and before. Like jewelry withstands the test of time. It's
Yeah.
been around since, seriously, like in the Bible and before, Old
Yeah.
Testament and before, and projected to bring in another $1 billion, forecasted for $1 billion extra
Amazing.
inventory, industry in the next few years. And I'm like, I want in on that. Um, it's universally appealing. Almost everybody wears jewelry or buys jewelry
Mhm.
because it's one of the top three gifts in the world: candy,
Mhm.
flowers, and jewelry, and has an emotional connection, and people really spend time thinking about, making themselves look a little better. Accessorizing has become all the rage, especially in these days of simpler. It's like, 80 to 85% on your jewelry is going to make your outfits pop and look alive. So that's all great stuff for us. It's considered a consumable product because fashion changes so much. So we see that it's not like someone has one necklace and they're done. It's like they want to change it seasonally and with the trends and with the outfits and all that. So that works out beautifully for us. And then, as far as our end of it goes, as salespeople or as someone who represents a jewelry company, it's very inexpensive to ship and store.
Right.
We wear our product. That's like, you can't put a price on that,
No.
People are complimenting us on our product, and then we can very easily segue into, oh my gosh, this is what I do. This is what I'm in the jewelry business. Not only do we wear our product, anyone who buys jewelry from us wears our product, and they can do the same thing. They can send people, refer them back to us. So it really is, well, like the consultant said in 1955, the stats would still come back today that jewelry is one of the number one things to represent if you want to be successful.
It's
Love it.
interesting because they've done that since 55, and that was a tough time at that time to do that because there wasn't jewelry companies doing that. So the
Mm,
fact that they have stood the test of time, I mean, if I think back to the 50s, I'm, thinking of the Tupperware days and the Fuller brush days and
yeah,
the people that came around door to door.
yeah.
So it's kind of interesting how we have stood the test of time, and it's 2024, almost
And
2025.
you just made something else pop into my head that I feel that I have to say now, is that it is one of the only products that goes up in economic hard times in sales.
Yes.
Because people, maybe they're not buying cars or houses, but they'll buy a bracelet, you know? So, and we have lived it now. We believed it, but now we've lived it through
Mhm.
quarantine and COVID, where our sales went up, up, up. So, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, how many times do we have somebody say to us, "I'm buying this as a gift for myself," and
Yeah.
I'm always like, "That's fantastic," because I always feel if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you are good. So
Yeah,
you deserve to treat yourself every once in a while.
absolutely.
Okay, so now that we know what direct sales is and the personal shopper aspect, we know all about why jewelry fits into that. How does Park Lane fit into that? Why
Yeah, because
specifically
let's
Park
say, okay, so you're doing your research and you decide you're going to do jewelry now. You're going to do direct sales because you want the flexibility. You're going to do jewelry. Now, what jewelry company do you choose?
Lane? Right.
I actually lived this because Park Lane is the only company that will hire people in at levels commensurate with the experience that they've accrued in their last career. So I was with my other company for 12 years. I'd worked my way to the top. I did not have to start all over with Park Lane.
Right.
I got to come in at a level that was in a pay that was rewarded the obvious skill I had in that particular area. I know the same thing happened to you.
Mhm.
So that was a big reason to choose Park Lane. And if anybody out there has direct sales experience or knows someone who does, that's big because most companies, none, I don't think, will do that. Just Park Lane, and they can do it because they're family owned, so they just can abide by different. If they can do what they want, So I love it. Um, but I was looking at another jewelry company, and I was looking at it because I was going to be hired as part of their home office staff,
Okay.
like to be the trainer of all of the people like you and me and the whole company. And I still chose Park Lane, mostly because of the potential, obviously income potential, but also because I knew wherever I went, I needed to really believe that I was with the best. And once I heard about Park Lane's programs, I really couldn't honestly say that about any other direct sales company. We have the richest programs in the entire industry. Our customer sale, it is so great that people think, oh, that's like when you host, and we're like, no, that's
No.
that's for
Yeah.
the customers. And it serves us well because the number one reason people have shows is because they want to share this amazing sale with their friends. They get a lot of free stuff, but they don't have to say that's why. They get to say, oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to hear about this sale. So it's buy two for regular, get four for half. We teach you all that when you join Park Lane. And if you're a customer, you probably already have it memorized. It's very easy to remember and repeat and be proud of. And then our hostess program is so generous. It's based on number of orders as opposed to how much people spend. As an ex-teacher who, when I used to have these parties, nobody had any money, so I hardly ever got anything. I actually love that it's that way, and there's less stress, as far as like, you don't care if somebody buys a lot. You certainly don't want them buying a lot if they can't afford it. You want them to be
Right.
able to have a show instead or something, right? And then, of course, we're the highest paid reps in the industry. And from day one, Arthur Levine, our founder, was like, I am going to pay these people more than anybody else does, and he always has. We start at 30%, and people like you and I are at 50%, and you can get to that very quickly. Commission. And then we have, you wouldn't believe it, you guys, weekly bonuses, monthly
Yeah.
bonuses. There's so many perks, like free jewel, up to $1,000 in free jewelry every single month of your
Right.
career is there for the taking. We get paid on our own. Like if we buy something, we also get paid. So honestly, if you're out there and you're like, I have no intention of even looking into this, it's like the friends and family discount. It's the
Yeah.
it's the least expensive, most cost effective way to buy your jewelry is to become a rep. Now, so the programs are big. Absolutely love the
Right.
programs. But also, we are a full service jewelry company. Every other jewelry company that I can think of has a niche market. Maybe they're pearls, maybe they're crystals, maybe they're silver. You guys are nodding your heads at home now, probably going, you're right. Maybe it's one style, like a boutique style or a romantic style or goth style. Ours is like across the board, something for everyone. And the big one, if you've ever done direct sales before, this will really mean something to you. We
Yes.
have no minimums, no requirements. People are like, but what do you have to keep doing? Nothing. Nothing. Once you have a certain title, you keep your title.
Right.
So if you take a few months off and you come back to work with the same title and the same pay and everything else that you had before. The only reason you wouldn't get paid is if you really do nothing. But you do not have a fear of loss here. So instead, they lead with all kinds of incentives, like 2 trips a year and a car bonus. And like I said earlier, the free jewelry. And
Yes.
it's absolutely amazing.
And cash. Cash
And
is
cash,
always
yes,
nice
we
too.
get paid every single week. People can't
Yeah.
believe that know about these things because it's very expensive to run to pay people every single week.
Hmm.
It is.
But
So,
it's not expensive to run a Park Lane business because I
oh my
come from
gosh,
another company
nothing.
and so do you. And we spend a lot of money on our other companies to
No,
keep it going. And in this business, you do not have to do that. And you can earn so much that you're
yes.
able to just use those things to show to people and share and you earn more. And it's the perfect program in my
Even the
opinion.
way we start people, I think is so smart
Sure.
because they have a show.
Yeah.
And we can even call it a decider show if they want. So if somebody is out there at home thinking about it, it's like just book a show.
Yep.
And then when you see your friends' reactions to it, their excitement, and at the conclusion of that show, if the person that did the show for you says, hey, you want me to keep the paycheck or do you want the paycheck? I think it'll be hard to refuse the paycheck. And if that's all you ever did with it, which of course we want you to do more, we want so much for you. But if that's all you ever did with it, you're going to come out further ahead than you were before. You still get all the hostess advantages. You get. So there's a lot of benefits to hosting a show.
Oh, yeah, the moral of that is host a party.
Yeah.
If anything, host a party because then
Mhm.
you can make that decision and it can be a decider for you. So I know how you're going to answer this, but okay, so I'm sitting there listening to you. I'm new to this. Somebody invited me, my stylist friend invited me, and I'm sitting there going, I probably could do this. But oh, not till spring though. I probably should wait till spring, right? Like, that's where brains go. So tell us why now is the perfect time.
Do you know what? This is so interesting because how long have we been doing this?
Long
But
time.
just today, as you know, I always like to be like learning things, and I was listening to a world-renowned uh, biologist and psychotherapist,
Okay.
and then in the research on how our feelings and things like that keep us from getting stuff done and how super important it is that we take action when we have these feelings that we don't let talk ourselves out of it. And it's something that's kind of programmed in our brain because
Yeah.
way back when we were didn't have the resources that we have now to keep ourselves safe, it was sort of like just to be really guarded.
Yeah,
And
protection.
we don't need to be guarded with
Right.
something like this. Like I said, there is absolutely nothing to lose. So the psychotherapist was saying, really successful people, they go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here I go. And it's like everything else that could possibly be a question to you or any kind of obstacle, we will work that out when it happens. And 98% of them aren't going to happen. But it's like now is the time. That being said, really now is the time. This we call this in sales, we call this the golden quarter, October, November, December, because truly jewelry is pretty universally popular all year round, thank goodness.
Mhm.
But at this time of year, people are doubling down because they're buying, for holiday outfits
Gifts, yeah.
that they're wearing, but they're also buying gifts for other people. So you want to get in on that. And then in you come with our fall line, blah, blah, blah. And then something like early January, we drop our brand new catalog for the year. Now you got your feet wet. Now you kind of know what you're doing. Now you're ready to roll. And like, here comes the new catalog. And there you go. Debt-free Christmas, barreling into the new year with this new source of income. It is a wonderful time to start. So we should start with this because it's so inexpensive. It's $129 to sign up.
Right.
With that, you're not just signing up. The $129, you get to pick $600 worth of jewelry right now. $600 worth of jewelry for $129. It's yours, to show, to do with, to wear, to give away. It's your jewelry. Beyond that, you get your own personal website so that like you literally can take orders while you sleep, and you get access to all of the tools that we have in the the Park Lane back office. But also, as part of our organization, I actually pay somebody to do beautiful images for us, and they're for you. I invest in you. They're team resources. So you literally could say, okay, I'm starting my business. You could go in, you could copy a couple images, and you could have your next 30 days of content up on your Facebook group or Instagram or whatever, just like that. So those are things that we did the thinking for you, and really the time is now. Yeah.
I love this about Park Lane. I love the fact that, now is the right time. And I think now is always the right time. But this particular season is where you do it. This is where you really can hit the ground running, offer it to your friends and family, and meet their friends and family.
Yes.
It's a very easy time to meet people because everyone is holiday shopping.
And just rewind a little bit to what I said earlier about having a show.
Mm-hmm.
We get paid every single week. So if you have a show, you're the one that's going to get paid, and now you just how we said you're usually more a month than money. You'll have more money than Park Lane charged you. Yeah, so you'll be beyond the $129 and starting out further ahead right from the get-go.
So then I guess I'm going to ask everybody who's watching this, if you caught it live or caught it on the replay, not only to comment, but comment with the word party and tag your stylist. Tag the gal or guy who invited you here tonight. And if you're willing to do a party to try it out, kind of a dip your toe show. We would love for you to try it out, see how it works. You will be no further. Like, how do you always say you're always better off? How you say it so much more eloquently.
You always will leave Park Lane
with more.
Should you leave, which I guess all of us will someday, and for some reason, but you will always leave Park Lane with more than you came with, even if you do it for a day. You will leave Park Lane with more than you came with. You will not be taken in and hurt by Park Lane jewelry.
I have to be honest, I leave every Monday night with more than I came with. So it's so awesome. I love doing this. Thank you so much for taking the time to explain all of this and answer these questions. I did drop the Google questionnaire in the comment section. If you're watching this on the Grace and Grit Studio in the group on Facebook, you can go right to the featured section, and that Google form is right there for you to fill out. Mary Grace, thanks for tonight.
That's your ticket, you guys, your drawing ticket. Because just for listening, one of you is going to win free jewelry. So
and you let them you give them 24 hours to fill that out, and you also curate a package to them based on how they answer the question. So I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I have fun with that. I really do. Somebody just got this whole set of bracelets because they said they liked sparkly silver.
Love.
Yeah.
Love. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Monday, and we will be back here next Monday at 6 Central, 7 Eastern. Take care. Have a great night.